Hey YouTube, what's up? Tom here again from Father and Son Treasures, and today I'm going to make a video that I think a lot of people would be interested in, and that's starting out coin collecting or coin roll hunting, or however you want to look at it. In this case, I'm going to be looking at Canadian coins because I find lots of them, and I haven't put any in any of the books, but a lot of people ask questions about how do you get started, and you know, a lot of people don't have money to go out and buy a whole bunch of coins. You just got pocket change to go through, or you've got, you know, maybe a couple of rolls even, you know. And in this case, I've got just a little container of Canadian coins that I've been finding, which is nothing compared to the ones that Michael's got. He's got scads of coins, but I've got a little bit less. And today I think it's going to be a great start. Okay, so since I mentioned we're going to start collecting Canadian coins as well, I'm going to start putting them in a book. I'm not collecting them really. I don't even know what, you know, like certain varieties to look for or anything necessarily. I just look for interesting coins and things that are in good condition, and I'm going to try to put them in the book. As I mentioned, for coin collectors that are starting out, you got these little books like this, these Whitman coin folders. I don't know if this shows up very good on the camera, or can I put it here? Maybe it shows up better. They're only $5. You know, you get them on Amazon. There's a lot of different versions. These ones here are kind of what I like about these, and it shows a little bit. I can put it this way maybe. Shows you a little bit about the history of the coins. There's a fairly wide date range. So here it goes from 1920 to 1988. And you can see how many coins you can get in there. I mean, there's quite a number. So, and you can see we're starting out empty, so I'm not cheating. But the benefit is you don't have to have 37 books of these things. You can have a couple of books and fill it up. So anyway, this is the book I'm going to be using to start with. Again, this one's 1920 to 1988. It'd be awesome if I find some older stuff, but this is where we're going to start. And before we really get too far started, one thing that really made me want to start this last year is actually I was doing some metal detecting here in town, and I found an old coin. And that's the one I got on the coin scope right now. I'm going to move it around just a little bit. And unfortunately, my display is behind me, so I have to keep looking behind me. But this is an 1884 Canadian large cent. Now, if you do a little bit of research on Canadian coins, there was quite a controversy between Canada and England, in that Canada was an English colony, and the Canadians had a need to really start minting their own money. And the English were not very happy about it because they considered Canada as a colony, and they didn't want them minting their own money because then they would be sort of separate, and Britain wanted to say, you know, no, you are ours. So they didn't want them minting their own money. Well, they came to a sort of a compromise where Britain allowed them to mint their own money if they put the British monarch on the coin. So if you look here, this is a 1 cent. Can I see it very good? Oh, I gotta keep it tipped down because the reflection off. I got it in one of these flip folder deals, but it's real shiny. So unless I hold it at an angle, the light from the microscope will obscure the picture. But anyway, oops, upside down. 1 cent, 1884. I'm zoomed out, so it looks kind of nicer, but this coin is actually quite corroded and there's a lot of pitting. But 1884, that's the year before the Statue of Liberty. So that kind of puts it in perspective how old it is. You know, in the world of collecting, it's not all that old, but I think it's pretty awesome. So Canadian large cent, if you look on this side, if I can see it here, you've got a bust of Queen Victoria, and let's see, it says Canada at the bottom. When I found this coin, it was pretty cruddy, so I had to kind of scrub it off a bit, and it's not totally clean. This coin probably doesn't have a whole lot of value per se, but it's got a lot of value to me because it's the oldest Canadian coin I've ever found. But anyway, I just thought that would be sort of an interesting, let's see here, interesting way to start our video and get going. But so to start out, I got to wear my glasses today to make things a little easier for myself, us old people. But move the book over to the side. And I made a simple grid that you can see here. And the way this grid works, it's just a piece of regular printer paper, you know, nothing special. And I put 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 all the way up to 20 over here for the decade, I guess. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Okay, it's not cut off. My table's a little cramped here, but all the way up to 9. So if I find a coin of a certain age, I just put it in the square. And what I'm going to do is at the end, I'll look through all of them that are on a particular date. Say I got, you know, 3 or 4 of them maybe for one particular date. We can look at all 4, decide which one we think is the best one, and that'll be the one that goes in a book. So again, it's just a sheet of paper, you know, all the coins of the same denomination together, and we're going to look through and see what we got. I know I got a few relatively older ones in here. You know, not a lot, but I thought it'd be fun. And again, this is how you can start out, just with pocket change or you know, whatever you find you know, on the street or in your cup holder of your car or whatever. Everybody's got coins laying around, and I think that's part of what got me interested in coin collecting, is you look through this stuff and like, wow, that's cool, you know, where'd that come from, or how come this coin is like that? Some of the Canadian coins have some really sort of unique characteristics, and I can't pretend I know what all the details are about and if there's any varieties to look for or anything. But anyway, we're gonna get started here. So anyway, I'm gonna get my glasses on and we'll get going. And I'll probably set this camera up as a time lapse to go through, and then at the end we can talk about all of our finds in total. All right, we got them all. It is really surprising to me. There's quite a variety. I got some holes in there, but oldest one is 1941, and the newest one I got for some reason is 2005. I thought there would be newer ones than that, but okay. It looks like 64 was a popular year for pennies in Canada. As I know, it was a popular year for nickels in the U.S. I think there were more nickels minted in 1964 than any other year. So that's kind of amazing. And you notice something when you start looking at these coins. Now I put them backside up just because the backside is normally where the date is. So that's why I put these on. There's a couple exceptions though, and it's sort of interesting. You can see some of the different varieties. If we go all the way back here to the 40s, the coins were always minted with the British monarch at the time of minting. So in the 40s, if you look here, you'll see we've got King George VI. Hopefully that'll show up in the video. Actually, I'll put him on here and I'll zoom the camera out. Let's try to zoom out just a little bit more. So there we go. King George VI, you'll find that on these older coins. This is, like, again, this is 1941, so it's pretty old. It's my oldest one in this batch anyway. By the time we get here to 1956, this is Elizabeth II, if I'm not mistaken. With what they call the young head version on the obverse of the coin. So on the front of the coin. And on the back, we've got the maple leaf design again. Interestingly, on Canadian coins, they flip sideways, not up and down. So an American coin, you take it this way, if you're looking head side up. And to see the reverse, you would flip it this way. If you do that to Canadian coin, it's backwards. So what you want to do is actually flip sideways, and then you get the image upside, right side up. For some reason, British coins are done that way and American coins aren't. I think the Americans probably just wanted to be not Britain, so they changed the way when they started minting coins, but to try to be spiteful maybe. I'm not really sure, but it is interesting. But again, this is 1956, and you'll see just this classic Canadian maple leaf design. This has been used with minor variations for a long time, and it's the classic shape. So 56 again. I want to put it back so I don't mess up my board here. Now we're going to continue along, and the design doesn't change a whole heck of a lot, except for updating the look of the monarch's image as we go along. So that was the young head. I'm not sure when I think it's the matron head starts, but by the time we get to 1967, you'll see one of the unique reverses of the coin. Can't read it super good. This coin's a bit dirty. Some of these coins in this bucket are from metal detecting finds, so some of those are not super pretty. But I guess that's as good as we're gonna get. But anyway, this is the Canadian rock dove, and if you look closely at this image, 1867 to 1967. So this is a centennial coin, so 100 years. So that's quite interesting. And as we continue, you see it goes back again in 68, goes back again to the Canadian maple leaf. Oh, by the way, 67, you'll see this is now the sort of matron head look for Elizabeth II. So as we continue on, there's a bunch of dates missing in the 70s. I'm not really sure why, so that's kind of interesting. But we kind of go along without a whole lot of changes. Looks like in 75 we still got the matron head. 79, same. Is this the same? Yep, same. That's I took my glasses off. I don't know what I was thinking, but 82, still the same. And here we get to 83, or 84, I guess it is actually. 84. Yeah, 84. And It's kind of hard to see here, just, you know, under the scope with one coin, but the maple leaf image is a little bit smaller for some reason. I don't know quite why they did that. And the rim is different on this coin. And you'll notice on a number of Canadian coins, they have this sort of, let's see how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 12-sided edge. I don't know what that means. There must be some sort of meaning to it, a Canadian meaning that I'm not aware of. But occasionally, you'll see this 12-sided edge on some years, but not others. So it seems to be the whole year they did it. But then sometimes the next year it reverts back to a round edge. So I'm not really sure what that means, but this is 84. And I flipped it up and down again. And it's a little bit hard to tell. This isn't the greatest clean coin, but you'll notice that Elizabeth is now wearing like a, I guess it's actually a crown. It's not a tiara. And you see the crown that's got the little points at the front. You don't see that on the matron head on the earlier ones. Let's see here. So here's a 1980. Which, oh, 80's got the crown also. How about 70? Oh, it's also the crown. I would have sworn there was one that didn't have the crown on it in the older one. It's the matron head on the crown again. I guess I just didn't look closely enough, but the matron head always has the crown. So continuing along, you see this sort of maple leaf design is continuing. Again, this was 84 that had this 12-sided, and it looks like each year after that for a while they have this 12-sided design. Here's an 89, which if I don't know if that'll show if I hold it like that or not. Yeah. It doesn't show great on the microscope, but it has this this 12-sided design still here in 89. The same maple leaf. And let's see here. Here's 91. Okay, so here we get up to 91, and you see now we have an older design with this larger sort of regal crown instead of princess crown, I guess. I don't know what you really call it, but so the monarch image has been adapted a little bit. The back is still pretty much the same, so nothing really special there. 91. Where is that? There's a strange one here I'm looking for, and I can't remember which year it was. Okay, I think this is it. Yeah, here we go. So this is really hard to see because they made the date very tiny. 1952 to 2002. So what exactly happened in 1952? I don't know, because it's not the same as this 1857 to 1957 100 centennial coin. So 1952 to 2002, and if you look, the date is like really tiny near the neck of the bust. So if you got a dirty coin, you ain't gonna see it. And on the reverse, where you would normally see the date, it's blank. So I'm not sure why they chose to do that. And this is a round coin. So if the 12-sided pattern was meant to have some special significance, this sort of 50-year anniversary coin doesn't have the 12-sided edge. So there's a mystery to be solved. But this is 2002. And it looks like the newest coin I have here is 2005. And it is really quite a pretty color. It's got a lot of original mint luster on it for 2005. You know, that's kind of old, and thinking about it. And again, it has another evolved shape. Notice now there's no crown, and it's sort of a more elderly portrait, I guess I'll say. I'll call this the old head. I don't know if that's the best name to call a British monarch, old, but I mean, she's 96 now, I think, so I hope I look as good as her when I'm 96. But anyway, this is another modified portrait for the later coin. So this is 2005. So we'll put that here, and that's the newest one I have. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go through and put them in a book. I'm going to look for the best one, put it in the book, and then show you what results we have. But it looks pretty good from 41 to 2005. That's not half bad. So I got to grab my tool, and I'm going to show you how we put them in a book. Again, here's the book. Does it show up on the screen? Yep, shows up pretty good. Here's the book. You got to have something, I've found, that's pretty hard. This has got a rubbery end on it. I actually normally use a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, but I don't know where it's at, so we're going to use this. But anyway, what I do is I look for the best coin of each date, and then it's going to go in the book. And then I also have to make the decision, do I put the front or the back in the book? And I usually generally like to put the side that has the date on it in the book so I can tell if I screwed up. But anyway, so 41 here, according to these guys, had 56 million minted. So, I mean, not a lot. It's a pretty good number. But I don't want to knock everything all over, but essentially all we're going to do is we're going to put the coin in there. And I guess for the beginning the beginning coin collectors, don't clean your coins. I've cleaned some that really don't have any value just because I know I'm never going to sell them. But if you find a coin which you think might someday have some value, whatever you do, don't clean it. Try to keep your fingers off it. Keep it as pristine as you can, and it will keep its value. But some of this stuff really, outside of value to me, it probably doesn't have a lot of numismatic value. So you can, but you can take these things and just push them into the hole if you got a lot of finger strength, which I kind of don't. Otherwise, the best way to do it, yeah, I think we can show it here. just put it on the edge of a table and use your see it there? Yep. Use your little tool with ideally some sort of a relatively soft end on it, and force it in there. And sometimes it takes a fair amount of force, but you got to have it on a hard surface or you'll just like jam it right out the back of the book. But in the end, it should pretty much lock in there. Don't be too concerned about whether it's perfectly straight up and down, or you take them out and put them in, take them out and put them in, you'll end up damaging something. So just get close and have fun with it. So there's 41. I only got one here for 46. So I'm going to put that one in, and I'm going to speed up the video so you can see me put them all in, and then I'll be back. All right, well, it looks like we're back. Interestingly, there are a couple of varieties. I didn't know what varieties to look for, and then putting the coins in the book, I noticed in 1985 or 1965, I'll just pull a random coin out of here and put it on the cam. You'll see around the edge there's these little dots, and pre-1965 the dots are along the outside edge, and they're kind of large, I guess I'll say. I got them all mixed up, so I don't want to sort them out again, but sort of a larger dot, and it's right on the edge of the coin. After that they went to a smaller dot that's further towards the middle. I didn't even realize to look for that, but in 1965, the only one I had was a smaller bead version. I don't have the larger bead version. So that's another variety to look for. Also, in 1985, the 5 on 85, where it comes down and the little tail comes up, apparently there's one that's blunted and there's one that's pointed. The only ones I had were the blunted ones. So apparently there's possible that you could get the pointed one. I didn't have one of the pointed ones. And disappointingly, my book only goes until 1988. I didn't even, that just like, right when I first looked. So I can only go through 88. So all these coins, I can actually fit into a newer book if I had one on hand. But let me get a newer book and put those in. But otherwise, I mean, this is great. I mean, we got, what, how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 27 coins in the book. I mean, that's a great start. So anyway, that's all there is to it. Like I said, I spent $5 on this book. Copy paper was just what I had in my printer, and some time. And if you need glasses, use them. But otherwise, you know, really not a lot of expense, not a whole lot of money. It's just pocket change, and a book. So, you know, you really can learn a bit about history, learn about some of the coins, why maybe some of the differences are the way they are. You probably learn more than me about these Canadian ones pretty quickly, but it's just you know, it's more about history that I think is interesting to know and to learn, and I think you really have a lot of fun. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please make sure you hit, I can't remember which side they're on, but hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, so if we make new videos you can see them. We normally post new videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And we really are trying to make content that you guys will really enjoy and really get something out of. So again, if you like the video, make sure you hit the buttons, and we will see you soon. Thanks again.